All right. What time is it? Can I start the clock yet?
It's 3 minutes past.
All right, we're gonna do start the clock. Just find this. Okay. 1 minute. Oh yeah, maybe we'll see some climax if the teams truly don't care.
That'd be funny.
It would be. All right, but Imposters versus 5J. HPG. What do you expect to see in drop one from these teams?
Um, Truthfully, I'm expecting to see two things, right? Just based on my past experience playing HBG in small formats, I'm expecting to see like maybe range skirmishing to some extent. I don't think you can do it fully because I think we've seen in the past it's really easy for people to jump up on the walls. Or we see that. We just see exactly that. It's possible we see like maybe one range guy, maybe one guy moved up, and like a brawling light pack force. I know 5J is they have a strong light pack. They have a very strong light pack, one of the big strengths of that team. So I would expect to see them at least play around that to some extent.
Hmm. Yeah, I think honestly it's pretty likely that one of these teams will bring some range on the wall, like some ER large. Could be both. In which case, maybe it'll be slightly more. Last a little bit longer than 30 seconds, which I think usually drop one is
That'd be
like
nice.
a
Yeah.
30-second fight.
You know what would be nice? And I think we've seen it in, I think last week, or maybe it was another match played in Div A this week. I'd like to see an assault. That'd be really cool to see like an assault, like a maybe like a 100 ton or like a Corsair or something on drop one. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it was Imposters brought against you guys. They brought a Nightstar. Um,
Oh yeah,
they did
yeah.
okay. It didn't do amazing. It was a little bit slow getting up where they wanted it to go. You guys pushed very aggressively kind of before it set up, but obviously that was the best drop of the entire tournament, in my opinion. Coming down to literally the last like SRM shot of the last mech, ammo wise. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised actually if one of these teams brings an assault. I know the Atlas was brought in DSC versus KD Sam earlier, and that seems to be like a solid choice. It's got the guns on the arms, so it can shoot lights and stuff. Doesn't have to worry about getting crit out from behind. It's tanky.
Yeah. I could see like a Boar's Head being brought as like a hero or an RS. Obviously, a lot of teams like the X Pulse RS. Like the X Pulse RS has the range to kind of you can position it left or right and it can kind of shoot ahead if that makes sense. It won't shoot all the way back, but if you move it a little forward on the wall, it does have range. It has range to shoot pretty much halfway across the map or more. And I mean, your X Pulses, you don't want to be getting burned by that in a light. So I could definitely see a X Pulse RS or like a Boar's Head.
I think if one of these teams does bring like an RS to put on the wall, if the other team planned on like full sending, they just kind of lose because I don't know. It like if you try to bring full brawl against a full brawl, but with like the RS that's gonna be shooting you as you come in, it's gonna be really tough because you're gonna be investing a bunch in the jump jets and get shot while you're jumping up. So we'll see if that happens. Generally, I think in this first drop, like if these teams do both bring a lot of DPS, whichever team pushes is going to be at a huge disadvantage. But we'll see when we get into it. Uh,
And we see 5Js, two of their lights are alpha. Um,
I was going to say Imposters 5 tons under as well.
yes. I've seen a lot of teams go under on this tournament though. So it's for one reason or another. You think you'd always want to fill out the tons, but I've seen a lot of teams go 5, even 10 tons under in some cases. So I think there's a lot of preference picks to be had in there
Yeah,
for
that makes
why
sense.
that is the case.
So as I said earlier, I think that team one is a little bit better if you're doing a wall strat because you can wrap all the way to above Kappa without needing jump jets. But not sure if that'll come into play here. You wanna Go ahead and
There you
say
go.
what 5GMX are.
Drop shot coming in. So with 5J, we have a Shadowhawk 2K, we have a Bounty Hunter 2 Marauder, we have 3 Osiris One Piece, and another Shadowhawk 2K.
Okay, and on the other side we have 3 fire starters with, I'm guessing, like SPL. Small laser, medium pulse mix. Osiris 1P with probably the same build 5J is running. A number 7 with large X pulse, medium X pulse. And then a Dervish 7D with 6 rocket launcher 20s and 2 large X pulses. Holy shit, that's based.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that is a Stimrog special right there if I've ever seen one. So that'll be interesting. I think the Shadowhawks here not going to be great against the drop from Imposters, right?
So the Bounty Hunter has 6 ER large going on the wall. The Shadowhawks are light PPC, SRM 6, 3 and 3. Osiris are LMG, medium X pulse, SRM 2. Pretty bog standard stuff.
Okay, yeah, the Osiris on Imposters actually is pure DPS. It's like small X pulse.
So it's a full rush
yeah,
coming from Imposters. But 5J is that Marauder might get a lot of value.
I think the Marauder is going to be the target, though. I think it's probably going to
be very interesting right now as we see the map developing. 5J isn't actually, or Imposter, sorry, isn't rushing. They're kind of playing it slow. They cap theta and they're kind of just stalling.
I think they're
giving the 5J Marauder time to get some damage in and some scouting and time to get like up on the wall to be able to see stuff. So 5J has formed their battle line. Imposters is kind of sitting in one grid square, figuring out like which way do we rush, kind of what's going on. They're taking early damage. It's not too much, but 5J should have an idea what's happening at this point. I think a lot of Imposters mix happens. Got it. It looks like the 2 lights are moving in for Imposters. 3 lights actually. The assaults are. It looks like a rush. Yeah, it looks like a rush. The Dervish is just in the open. He's tanking. They're all going. It's a full send. But interesting, we see an Osiris already engaged for Imposters. He's kind of in the thick of it right now. He's not getting dived though.
Yeah, they need to just send it. They're bleeding right now. They need
they're stalling really hard. They're kind of just bleeding.
Yeah, they need to make the jump right now. I think Basalt's gonna lead it. Yep, here goes. He's gonna get focused down really fast.
That's good that the number 7 is tanking, but like they haven't got anything out of it. 5J is still above 90% on all mechs pretty much, except for a light. They're jumping. They're making the jump. The Dervish failed the jump on Imposters. Very notably, he's stuck down. Basalt dies before he makes it up. So this Dervish is going to get swarmed by, oh my goodness, he's got like 5 people shooting him right now. He's gone. He's done for. And there's still no kills picked up on Imposter side.
Yeah, no,
there's a Firestarter jumping solo into 2 Shadowhawks. That's not a good fight for the Firestarter. The Tavarish and the Osiris does go down. The Firestarter jumps off. This was like a complete disaster for
Imposters, yeah.
But they did get the Marauder, Monkey Asta, and they almost got Webmaster, but I think that's going to be all she wrote.
Yeah, I think that they just they made the mistake of just ignoring the Osiris right in front of them. Like the Marauder, it's an obvious target, it's like the big target, but if you have Osiris with medium X pulse and LMG literally 100 meters in front of you, just go kill them, right? If you have a deck like that, I don't think you can just like ignore them and try to jump past. That's just a mistake.
I think beyond that, though, they were too slow to make their rush. They should have tried maybe once they saw the Marauder, they maybe should have gone through Theta, then out one of the ramps. That would have been much better for them because they would have cut a lot of that light PPC and ER large damage out of those 5J mechs a lot earlier, right? Push through Theta, then take a right, go up, and then make your jump. You would have cut a lot of damage out of the equation. Basalt was very hurt, as we see. Stimrog 86, Basalt 34, and even the Imposter's Lights, only Nyander. Also a lot of team damage, notably from Nyander. 0 match score there.
Probably a bad strike.
That's not great. Yeah, if you're pushing, that's not great. That seemed like very uncoordinated overall from Imposters.
Yeah, I think that at the beginning that because it's not because it's a number 7 and not a 1A1, I think they were waiting for their charger because it was kind of slow. But obviously they still stalled a bit, like the charger slowed down and stopped a couple times, and if you're gonna do that, you should be going through Theta like you said. But I really think the bigger mistake was just not jumping the Osiris because the Shadowhawks were like PPC SRM 6 on the wall. So they're not actually really doing that much if you ignore them.
No.
And just kill the lights. And
they're basically there to jump down when a brawl starts and start sponging.
Yeah, so like the ER large bounty hunter, sure, it's gonna be annoying and it's gonna be dealing good damage, but like if you kill all 3 of those Osirises that are right in front of you on the low ground, the other targets are like they're gonna be pretty easy to take out, I think. So I really think it was just like a bad decision to try to jump up rather than just kill the Osirises. Like they have the fire starters with speed, so they can chase those down. It's not like they're gonna get away easily.
I 100% agree. Notably though, I really liked 5J's mech. Like they have the good sponge DPS hybrid ranges with the Shadowhawk. They have the triple light pack with very high DPS. Those Osiris is coming out very strong in this tournament. They have extreme, like pretty much I think the highest DPS of like any light in the game or close to it. But they're squishy, right? So that's something you can take advantage of by focusing them down. They die a lot faster than something like a fire starter or even a lot of similar clan mechs. And then they had the one ER large guy on the wall for scouting, for pressure, for free damage, everything. I really liked how they had their drop deck set up. I think it was pretty much optimal how I would like to see it played on that map.
Yeah, I think it was a good drop deck, and they did a good job being very aggressive early on with the Shadowhawks to get early damage in.
Yep.
But I still think that it was more of a misplay for Imposters. That's why it was like not close at all. I think if Imposters had played it properly, I think it would have been very close drop.
I 100% agree. I 100% agree.
So Tourmaline, I think it'll be probably slower. I think both these teams are pretty comfortable trading. But then again, it's not like the max tonnage drop, so I definitely think that you could push here. We saw KDCM roll DSC, but pushing with Chargers.
Right. And Tourmaline pushes have been strong to catch people off guard for years now. We've seen it played in past worlds and otherwise. So I don't think you definitely, especially in this lower tonnage, as you said, I don't think we can discount a push from one side or the other. I would like to think you could think about it similar to HPG. We could easily have like one or two range guys, maybe like one range anchor, and I don't know, like a Shadowhawk, just as an example, or something like that. And then you have the rest of your force be like a brawling force. I could see something like that.
Yeah, I think that you definitely could do like 2 ER large mechs and the rest like brawl, and you push with like the 2 ER large assaults with like, you know, Battlemasters of XL engines or something.
Right.
I think that I'm not sure if you agree with me, but I think Team 1 is way safer to receive. Like it's much harder to push when you're Team 2 going into Team 1 because of the openness of like the CSJ area. So I would be very surprised if 5J is bringing push for this drop, but maybe
I think because of that inherent vulnerability, you could see it happen. In fact, one of the more decisive push wins we've seen in recent years on Tourmaline was, I believe it was from exactly as you said, not through CSJ. Like CSJ was kind of ignored, but from what like Team 2 to Team 1, I think it was, or the other side. You get what I'm trying to say, but
I think Abin pushed JGX and rolled them when JGX was Team 2. I think like Team 1 is okay. They're locked. I'm sending it in. I'm not sure exactly what drop you're talking about, but yeah, I think that it's harder to push Team 1. Team 2, it can get messy because it takes a while to set up compared to Team 1, and the lines aren't as good.
So very fast here on the ready up with these teams. Very good.
Yeah, more action for us. Faster. Disappointed we didn't get to see the Dervish use his rocket launchers in the last game. I like that build.
I agree. What if we saw it again this game?
That'd be
funny.
That'd be pretty crazy. I'm ready for it. So anybody watching that is not familiar with the format, it's 3 caps only. And it's Theta, which is over here. Sigma over here, and then Gamma over here. In the corner, kind of in the middle of nowhere. Usually you see teams try to control Theta and Sigma if they're playing control. But you can always see like a Flea or some other fast light go over to the Gamma. Yeah. So go ahead and
so 5J. These guys dropping. 5J starts with a Flea, a Corsair 7A, Battlemaster 1G, Rifleman, Dowbreaker, another Corsair, and a Flea. So very heavy range from 5J. I like to see it with Cap from the Fleas.
Yeah, so that's a full trade control deck. On the other side, 2 Battlemasters with ER large. A Crusader 6T with 3 ER large 11 smalls, and then 3 Phoenix Hawk 7Ss. So definitely much more of a wolf pack on Imposters. They're going to have to leverage it to win because they're not going to win straight up in trades with just the 2 Battlemasters and the Crusader.
100% agree. I like their thinking with this deck, though. I think if they play well, they can bully off the fleas very easily, and they can outrun the 3 trade anchors from 5J.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that I definitely favor the Imposters deck if played well, but I think it's much harder to play their deck. So
especially the Crusader. I'm biased for the Crusader. I think that mech played properly in the right spot, right position, right time is straight up game winning, especially in a league like this. So I'm excited to see what that Crusader pulls off for Imposters this game.
yeah, I think you will see the fleas probably grab Theta back at some point, and then maybe Imposters might try to grab it back again. I don't think that Imposters is going to be able to hold Theta long term because again they just have so much less trade. I really think the Phoenix Hawks need to be making an active movement. Like they should be getting Sigma right now, and maybe one of them holds Theta and contests with like just the air mediums. But
so looking at the battle as it's developing right now, I don't like actually what Imposters Crusader is doing. Imposters Crusader is all the way in the back of the map using the ER larges. It should be pushed forward with the Wolfpack, in my opinion. I guess they might not have scouting on what exactly 5J has, but I mean, you've seen a lot of ER larges coming from 5J in a lot of different angles. Plus, you've already seen the double flea. That should be process of elimination right there for the Crusader to start moving up and getting impact in the game.
yeah, so
Just the presence alone has impact in the game. And as we see, sorry to interrupt you, 5J Fleas did take Theta back, even if only for a little bit. And it's going to be difficult, actually, for Imposters to get that back. I don't think they should have let that cap go.
Yeah, I think that
really difficult.
Them letting that go means that they probably will never be able to get that back. I think that at this point, the Phoenix Hawks need to find a way to be aggressive because they're not going to be able to get Theta, and trying to control Gamma against like fleas is going to be a nightmare because they're so fast. You could still do it, but yeah.
I think one of the 5J fleas needs to go get a side cap right now, to be honest, because you don't need 2 fleas and all those traders to hold Theta from Imposters. All you need to do is your ear larges need to be looking, and 1 flea for scouting burns anything. One of the other fleas could be grabbing a side cap right now and really putting the pressure on Imposters. Because we see Imposters are really stagnating with these Phoenix Hawks. The Crusader still in the back of the map. I'm not sure what the objective is because the Crusader, it doesn't do enough damage at range. It just doesn't. It almost did 3 ear larges, no quirks. Nothing really substantial. It's not really doing much, those ER larges.
I just want to point out, yeah. Webmaster not doing so hot on the trades overall. Almost open CT.
I have noticed that, yes.
Doubtbreaker, maybe a little bit fragile, but then again, I think that most of the ER large is probably straight into the CTs of these Battlemasters. Actually a little bit spread, but yeah. I mean, the Crusader's still looking really fresh.
Scouted the Crusader. 5J has scouted the Crusader, is taking some free leg damage, crossing to CSJ Hill.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it plans on going. I feel like this Crusader, honestly, could even go Gamma if they wanted to play it really slow, because those fleas are never going to be able to contest it. Like, yes. You could send the Crusader and literally just say, okay, you sit on Gamma until you come in later, maybe for a flank.
Yeah.
I guess when I'm...
And we do see one of 5J's fleas, sorry to interrupt you, going to Gamma, so they have kind of read my minds there. A little late, but not a dollar short, so we do see him going to Gamma and getting that cap. That is a good play, because Imposters really isn't contesting that, and that's going to really put the pressure on Imposters to start moving.
Imposters, in my opinion, is too scared. You see Gamma flashing, so you know one of the fleas over there. These Phoenix Hawks easily could have pushed up and been right into this area that I'm looking at now, and maybe tried to gank this Rifleman. They had a very big opening there, and they're kind of just like, I don't know, I feel like they're not exerting any pressure on the map despite being a 3-man Wolfpack.
I agree, and we see that well, what do we see here? We see that
they're looking at
10 minutes and 30 on the clock. We see that with 10 minutes 30 on the clock. At this point, Imposters needs to have an idea of what 5J has. They need to figure out what their deck is if they haven't already, and they need to start making moves off that. So, and very importantly, though, 5J did just let Imposters get Theta back. That's actually huge. Imposters also has Sigma, so Imposters is now sitting on the 2 cap, and Imposters is about to get a full cap on Theta. Oh, 5J messed up really bad by letting that happen.
I want to
huge misplay.
I want to point out a couple things. For that to happen, though, Basalt and Acer both bled a lot on their Battlemasters.
They did,
by forcing trades. So the trade advantage is very, very much in 5J's favor now. And Neon did take that opportunity, though, to push up to the Spire, which is an excellent position for the Crusader.
Yes.
So I think that what they're going to try to do now is try to slow it down, which I don't think is amazing considering they have like a 3-man Wolfpack. I think aggression would have been better, but I definitely think it's doable. Basalt needs to make sure they don't die, though, and same with Acer.
I think it's doable as well because the Phoenix Hawks have retained their armor. throughout the game, and the Phoenix Hawks are a mech that benefits from playing slow. They don't have a ton of DPS for pushing, they don't have a ton of output, but they do benefit from getting a lot of free damage from the pop charting and a lot of maneuverability from the map.
I think like
So
5J is kind of like AFK with all their traders. I guess they're making a
yeah,
move to Sigma, but it's
they're
really
moving
slow.
now. Yeah, it is.
They're
very
all
slow.
going
They're moving
together.
now. The question is if Imposters scouts this. If Imposters doesn't scout this, this could be really bad for them. If they do scout this, the other way around, would be, I think, pretty bad for 5J.
Yeah,
I make it scouted. They're going really wide, trying to pull as much range as possible. They know the clock is on them.
Yeah, Imposters I think knows, because look at their battle masters. They moved through the open to move back to CSJ, and I'm assuming they're gonna push even further up, or maybe just hold this angle and use their Crusader and Phoenix Hawks to kind of play this corner. 5J is gonna go all the way around the back to get Sigma, and I think that what Imposters needs to realize and do is like they need to be willing to give it up and then just go get Gamma, because they're 5J is putting themselves in the corner of the map. It's like you don't need to contest that, just leave.
And again, it's with 8 minutes 20 left on the clock. You need to, at this point, you need to know what mechs 5J has. You have screwed up if you do not know what mechs 5J has right now. And so, knowing the mechs 5J has, they have 4 slow mechs. If you're Imposters, you have like 4 or 5 fast mechs rather than all the slow mechs that 5J has. So you need to abuse that and move.
So Imposters is making the decision rather than what I suggested, which was backing off and then getting Gamma. And letting 5J sit in the corner of the map and be AFK.
This isn't terrible though, because the guys on Gamma or Sigma, the guys in Sigma are boxing those fleas are getting boxed in. The Phoenix Hawks has noticed
this can work, but
will they be able to take advantage of it? And we see the Battle Masters moved up. I don't like that the Crusader is still hanging in the back though for Imposters. Like you want that Crusader push with those Phoenix Hawks to cut off those fleas that have killing power. And the fleas for 5J are boxed in.
Yes.
Are they going to get bad damage on them?
It's a 3 versus 2.
No, they're kind of getting away scot-free for the time being. But then Niners Crusader is dropping down, getting good damage on Cougar's Flea. Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? Is it going to be enough? No, the burns were not good enough. Cougar's getting away. Dario's getting away. That's a huge misplay. But,
yeah, that's just bad aim.
They got the drop. They got the drop on those fleas. They got them boxed.
Oh, Dario gets legged.
Able to take advantage of it. That's good. That's good. Dario does get legged. They get something out of it. That's extremely good for Imposters.
Yeah, Stim's legs almost open. He might not. Honestly, I don't think it's worth trading armor with this flea right now in that corner where he might have Overwatch soon. I don't think you need to force it. It's a legged flea. Like, what's it gonna do if you just leave?
Yeah. They're trying to force the kill, but it doesn't make sense. You see Imposters bleeding a bunch of armor to force this kill.
Yeah, it's bad.
5J is up armor. The Corsair, Sleepy Human, the Battlemaster, Jiffy are completely fresh and can swing this.
Oh, Stimrog almost getting reared. Almost. They actually shot his leg though. Stimrog's leg is open now. He's got to be very careful. Neon getting some damage taken.
Losing armor in that Crusader almost for free. Not a good play with the Crusader as it is.
Yeah, they're definitely very beat up on Imposters, but I think their damage is more spread overall. Like the Flea's leg, the Rifleman's one shot. And while Jiffy and Corsair, Jiffy and Sleepy are completely fresh, right now they're not really moving up aggressively to use that armor. So,
right, and as we see the clock ticking past the halfway point in this match, Imposters is about to get a 2-cap.
Yeah.
So 5J has to start moving.
Well, Cougar's going to try to grab Theta, and I think he's going to get it.
Good, and he's going to get it. That is good, but you won't be able to keep it. They can't keep it.
Yeah, Torish making a movement.
Commit one of their freshers. Well, maybe actually. Sleepy Human is basically full exposed. He can see some of Theta at least, and to Stargate. We see Imposters coming back in force, actually, to Theta, kind of.
Yeah, I'm concerned about Basalt. He's very, very messed up, and he's maybe going to be running through the open here. I think that Sleepy might get an angle on him in a second. It's kind of close. Maybe not, actually. Yeah, okay, they actually hold on to Theta. Cougar just bails before even getting shot, I think.
Because Cougar's legs are pretty hurt, I believe. They're pretty hurt from that ambush.
Yeah, Torish, both legs are open. I think that, honestly, like, this could still go either way. Torish is actually going to go for Gamma. I really like that play. Because there's only one flea that can get over there. And if he wins that fight, then it's just
Dario does go down.
Okay, Stim finishes
that kill. Wasn't really necessary, but that is good. He was kind of holding to make sure Dario didn't, like, walk his legged mech to Sigma, from under their noses. So that does make sense. This is quickly swinging Imposter's way, though, because Imposter's about to get the recap, and 5J isn't pushing up their armor. They need to push up their armor now.
They took too long.
4 minutes 30 in this match.
They needed to do it like 2
Recap.
minutes ago.
Yes, you had to start moving when we were first talking about it 2-3 minutes ago, and it's starting to get too late for them.
The AFK traders strat, we've seen it time and time again. I didn't expect it from 5J though.
They're moving now, but it's too late.
I think it's too late because Gamma. I think that the only way that they can win this game is if Cougar goes Gamma and wins the 1v1 and gets it.
And I don't think
he's not doing that though. So
I don't think he can do that. Yeah, with the open or the hurt legs flea.
Well, yeah, I think that if he caught the Phoenix Hawk off guard, because Torres's legs are both open as well, and maybe if the Phoenix Hawk missed a burn or two, but yeah, he's not going that way. They're gonna get Sigma, but it doesn't really matter because also Stim in a really good place to deny Sigma for a long time if he chooses to.
He's just going at this point. Imposters needs to play for time. That's their goal, and Stim is making them play for time by being there. As we see, Cougar and his flea has come back. They did like Stim, but it doesn't matter. Cougar and his flea is going to come back and try and kill Stim, but that's just seconds, minutes, time wasted on a Phoenix Hawk that isn't influencing the impact of the game, but you also don't want to walk past it and give it burns.
Yeah.
So we see Jiffy and Sleepy Human pushed up, but they're not actually pushing up. They're just at the corner.
I just want to point out, Basalt has done a great job at staying alive. He burnt that armor early for them to get Theta, and he spread the damage since then and stayed alive and is still exerting pressure on that corner to help his teammates. So really good job from Imposters traders to stay alive and spread their armor. Very opposite of 5J traders, which were like some were AFK in the back and others bled really early. Looks like the Rifleman is going to try to get a pick on Stim here, but he has one shot, so if Stim turns around...
It does go down, trying to get to Sigma from Nyander, who was in good position to stop that. Very well done.
Oh, yeah, I see. Yeah, well done by Neon.
And that's both 5J's fleas, and that's going to be all she wrote.
Neon's very confident on this corner with Basalt and Acer overwatching. Gets some good damage in.
Goes down. It doesn't matter. Nyander loses an arm. It also doesn't matter. At this point, they're playing for time. All they have to do, they could lose 5 mechs, and they're still going to be sitting pretty on that 3-cap with 5J's traders stuck at the corner.
Sim's one-shot CT now. I think Weapon Master is going to rear him in a second. Yeah.
Stim goes down, but...
Yeah, obviously it doesn't matter. No lights, Gamma taken. Torres is just having a party over there on Gamma. Just honestly, like I think 5J could have won if they moved their traders up earlier, but like they just were AFK for too long. So
they needed to realize, they needed to be cognizant of how much they were out trading Imposters, especially at the point where Imposters exposed their traders to get that Theta cap back, and 5J got a bunch of damage. If you're 5G, I'm thinking, hey, I just got really good burns on these guys. We need to take advantage of this. We have way more traders than they do, and they have less armor than we do. We need to abuse this somehow.
Nyan just made a really good play. She recognized that they couldn't have any traders more on their side of the map, so she basically swapped sides to come and help Odinger deal with this Corsair. Obviously, it doesn't matter anymore, but still a really nice play. And I think they're going to be able to get this Corsair done.
Yep, there goes Corsair. And this game is going to
literally, they just ran circles around 5J this game. I think Imposters maybe could have tuned up their aggression a little bit, but like they didn't need to because 5J just like let them do what they wanted and were like even more passive by far. So well played by Imposters in this drop. 5J, if they bring a drop like this in the next drop, like I really hope that they're more aggressive and don't let that happen because
750 to Imposters. Go to drop 3. Well done, Imposters. I like the way they played. I liked their drop deck, and I liked the macro level decisions they made throughout the game.
Yes, Stim.
Look at the damages. I mean, Monkey Asto 691, Sleepy Human. Like you need to look at these damages, and you need to look at like Imposters max. You need to look at Imposter damage and be like, damn, like. We really outtraded them.
Yeah.
You need to be aware of this stuff. And look at the Phoenix Hawks. They didn't have to do any damage.
Yeah, they didn't.
Less than 200 damage on all of them.
But put together, they have like 3 minutes of cap time, right?
Right, exactly. That's all Imposters was doing. Imposters was just playing for time.
Yeah. Yep.
And 5J let it happen.
Yeah, Imposters recognized their win condition pretty early on, and that's why they forced Theta when they did, and that was a very good play.
It was very well played. It was very well played, or more accurately, I should say, it was badly played of 5J to let that happen.
I think that
cognizant of that.
I think it was fine to like let Theta get capped and win the trades heavily during that, as long as they pushed up immediately afterwards, but they didn't. They just stayed AFK, right? So that was the problem. Like losing Theta from 5J, like it was annoying, but it was a good play for imposters to do that, but I think it was still very like it wasn't even that big of a deal if they just moved up their traders like and took advantage of the fact that they won the trades like you were saying, right? But they just didn't. So
Yep.
uh I think that I don't know. Do you think that we'll see similar drop decks from these teams with the side swap, or do you think they'll mix it up?
Um, I think 5J is definitely going to mix it up. Imposters, hard to say. I like to think Imposters is going to brawl rush. I like to think we might see both sides brawl rushing each other, which could be interesting.
I don't like I said I don't think Team Two will try to push Team One, but I could see 5J bringing a Charger deck and pushing like KDCM did. Um, but if I'm gonna be honest, like I don't know. Generally, I don't think these teams do last minute changes. Like they probably have their drop decks planned and they just stick to them. But if I'm 5J in that last game, I'm thinking like, man, we dominated the trades and we just didn't move up. Like it's a very
Right.
obvious, easy solution. Like I'd be tempted to just bring this like a very similar deck. I'll trade them again, and then this time just actually move up.
Yeah, I could see that line of thinking. I just think that line of thinking is dangerous as you have Imposters switching to the other side now.
Yeah, that's true. They're locking, or it looks like they're ready at 370 and haven't locked yet. What did they use in that last? They used two Corsairs and
They
two Battle
used,
Masters, or no, one Corsair. Okay.
it was two Corsairs, two battles, and
One battle rifleman and then two fleas.
yeah. Two Corsairs, one battle, and a rifleman with two fleas.
I will say no, not having any Phoenix Hawks left for this entire match now on imposters is that does tell you something. You don't have to worry about like a fast skirmishy pop tart the same way that you used to. So
interestingly, though, we didn't really analyze those two quotes that last game, but the Imposters Phoenix Hawks were actually mediums or ER mediums, one of the two. They were not actually PPCs in any variety, which is a strange decision to me, I think, actually.
I wonder if that was because it's safer, probably safer against pushes on this map to have the ER mediums because you can go for legs while you're kiting back.
So we do have Team 1 locked, 5J.
Like if you have the small lasers and they're pushing you, you're not going to be able to use those small lasers until they're right on top of you. Versus with the air mediums, you can probably be kiting and getting shots in.
Right. Though I think if they had the PPC small laser builds, I think one of those fleas would have died. I think that PPC small build is much better against something like a flea rather than the mediums.
You think so? I feel like it's better if you can hit your shots, but if you're not a top level player, then the ER mediums are probably going to be a lot more consistent.
If you're hitting your shots, yes.
Yeah, but we're not all Bowsers. if you can't reliably hit your shots, I think like the ER mediums are going to give you that like consistency, especially if you're running in a group. I'm really surprised the fleas got out when they ambushed them. That was the big hiccup I think from imposters in that last drop, where you called it, where like they ambushed the fleas and it looked really good, and both fleas almost got out, but they barely got the leg on Dario at the end. And I think if they hadn't gotten that leg, that drop could have looked very different because I think the fleas together could have gone gamma.
I agree.
So 1-1 right now. I definitely was gonna say I think I favor imposters more on the Tourmaline map versus Bog, but no, I'm actually, the more I think about it, the more I'm unsure about that.
I think if we're talking like bets, I think I'm favoring Imposter to win right now on Tourmaline, because I liked the way as a team they moved that last match a lot better than the way 5J was moving and the way they moved.
Yeah, I agree with that. All right, we're launching now. Let's see if those chargers come out. I mean, is that the only mech that you'd bring to push? Like, what else would you bring to push? Maybe like Era Large Zeus's with like DPS, bro.
On Tourmaline, I could see fast brawl for sure.
Yeah. think I kind of expect that if a team is pushing, they bring the Chargers onto them because you need to fill, if you're trying to fill out your tines, you really need your assaults to be fast. But I think there's like a couple
Yeah.
others that could work too. Just not as obvious of a choice. I'll start over at 5Js.
This dropship takes really long to come in.
Yeah, they're loading. There's probably some potato PC.
Actually, we can look at the mechs now, just not the builds. But the dropships are coming in. So we're going to see from Imposters, we're going to see a Blackjack 1X, we're going to see a Bushwhacker High Roller, 2 Annihilator 1Ps, a Javelin 11A, and another Blackjack 1X.
Interesting. From 5J, got Battlemaster, ER Large, Crusader, ER PPC Small Laser, their last Corsair of Gauss ER Large, another Battlemaster of 6 ER Large, a Fleet 17, that's their last one, and then a Locust 3V with Heavy Machine and Medium X-Pulse.
So 2 Battlemasters. So very notably, they're going to be gone both their Corsairs and both their Battlemasters. If you're Imposters, take notes.
Yeah.
I like the Crusader pick. It looks like a full rush from Imposters here, though.
Is it with Annies?
Well,
I think the Bushwhacker is probably. It seems
You're
like
right.
it seems like it's push defense. Like they were concerned that they're going to get pushed, and so they're bringing this Bushwhacker to leverage that.
Right.
But they're not actually pushing because these are ER large Annies, and they don't even have Gauss.
No,
they're
right.
pure
You're
ER
right.
large.
You're right.
Javelin is scouting. This is a really nice scouting position. Take notes, anybody watching. You can kind of see the whole map from this. So he sees if he, maybe he uses advanced zoom, but he should see this Battlemaster over here, and that should give him a hint as to what 5J is doing. So yeah, the Corsair's setting up. They don't actually. I don't think 5J has any scouting right now. They took Theta and they're like they don't see anything. If I'm 5J, I'm thinking it's a push, but it's not. So see how that plays out.
Seems like they're kind of positioned for that push with Sleepy Humans Battlemaster having really good lines over CSJ. They have a great crossfire going from their mechs. I think they thought it was going to be a push.
You know what? You know what this actually is though. It actually is a push. It is a push. You're right. You were right with your initial idea because this is an Annie ER large NASCAR push.
Right.
Look at they're literally going to try to trap this Corsair back here and kill it.
So 5J has seen the Annies now. They have seen these Annies.
This Corsair needs to start moving now or he's dead. They have no way to stop these Annies. That once they round the corner, like the Corsair can no longer escape. And he's just gonna die.
Not move. The Corsair's not moving. I don't like their pathing on the Annies. The Annies should have gone around if this was really their strat. The Annies should have gone around. Stim taking pretty heavy damage.
Acer is shooting the Corsair now, though. And I favor an Annie over the Corsair 100%, like in this type of fight. And Basalt's going to be in this fight too. And you see Nyan is actually going for the... Like, she's going to be engaged on this Corsair in a second as well. This Corsair is going to die really fast if he stays up.
Moving.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what they think is going on here.
Yeah, he's going to try to rotate now, and their Wolfpack is going to try to find a way to get active. I'm assuming they're going to try to take, like, this ridge.
He's moving now. The Corsair's moving now.
He can't escape anymore, though.
His back.
Yeah.
However, Sleepy Humans Battlemaster, a great Overwatch position to cover Monkey Ass's retreat.
I think that Battlemaster's fucked as well, dude. Like, 2 Annie 1Ps are gonna peek in about 3 seconds here, and it's gonna die. It has no cover up there.
It does have some cover. It does. If you go against the back end of the Tourmalines, especially in a Battlemaster, you can just set up there, though. I think you can.
Well, here it's getting shot now. We'll see if it can manage to win its trades.
And 5J's Jiffy, really smart. He went to like Spire on Imposter side of the map, the side they just played. He's on
that's a good,
actually really smart. So now we see Tavares in the open. That Bushwhacker just getting he's legged. Tavares legged in the open.
Oh, that's really bad. Yeah, that is a disaster.
Sent it in the open in front of the Jiffy's Battlemaster, the Crusader, the Fleet. Oh,
well, actually, he's getting good shots in the 6T. It looks like the Dario's actually going to come in and push Stim. That could be a mistake.
Stim is hurting. I can't pull up his paper doll, but Stim is hurting in that blackjack. Blackjacks are very fragile. I mean, even like a light mech, like a Locust.
Yeah, it's almost certainly an XL engine. His left horse is open, and they know that.
Yeah.
Odinger is here to help his
Acer
team.
peeking the corner close. He's going to regret it. Acer's going to regret this if he peeks into those 2 lights in the Crusader. He's going to badly regret this if they're paying attention.
Yeah, I
Acer's
agree.
already losing armor, too.
Yeah, Nyan's crossing the open and getting beaten up for it as well.
I don't like this from Imposters.
Yeah, Nyan's going to die in the open.
All from Imposters.
Yeah, she's almost open side torso. They've kind of gotten surrounded and trapped rather than like catching the Corsair.
They're playing right into Weapon Master's Crusader. Right into his Crusader there. Perfect. That's exactly what you want to do. You want to be shooting people around corners with your millions of small lasers and whatever random weapons, just dunking on people. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's taking damage, but Imposters is very much losing the armor trade. We see
Tavarish went down.
Pushed up to finish Tavarish and the Bushwhacker.
Yeah, so this Corsair completing the open again, but like the Annies just can't deal with it because they have these lights in their face. But like their lights, like Odinger and Nyan and Stim can't do anything because the trader is up on CSJ. It's like 5J's mechs are all coordinated and working together while Imposters are not. They're all like doing their own thing.
Imposters Annies just bled. They just bled and bled and bled.
Yeah.
They bled till they could not bleed anymore. Stim just flanking all the way off to the side for some unknown reason, gets picked off by the light pack, the 2 lights, and the Crusader from 5J. Very well done responding to that. This is not looking good for Imposter. They're going to have to pull something out of their asses to win this one.
Yeah, with Jiffy up on the high ground across the map.
Battlemaster. Sleepy Human is hurt in that Battlemaster. He's very hurt, showing up as red now, so he's open somewhere important.
Yeah, I think
8% cherry red now he's showing up as.
Yeah, Basalt is getting left by himself, though. He's going to probably get jumped and killed by Dario and Cougar anytime soon.
He does get Sleepy Human. That is a great pick. Great pick, but Basalt's alone. The second they realize this is the second he's dead.
Yeah.
It's just so questionable.
Well, Jan's rotating back over. Odinger's okay for
like Acerg is like halfway around the palace, and then he's gonna go halfway back to support Basalt. That's just so confused.
I think that
all the while 5J is sitting on 2 caps over double the points, and time is in their favor now. They can just play time.
Yes, yeah, definitely. I don't see how Imposters is gonna be able to move out here.
I don't.
They need to kill this Corsair at the very least. It's just standing in the open. They have these the Annies need to work together and force the Corsair off. Instead, like Acerg's gonna move up again, kind of into the open. I don't think trading with that Battlemaster, there's no point to it. Like,
there's no point.
It's not the objective for you at this point. Basalt he's going to peek the Corsair now, and I think he's going to try to trade with it. See how this goes. Dario's there to support as soon as he does. Dario actually looks like he might pop up here.
The Crusader is hurt from Weapon Master, but it is a Crusader, and that mech is just stupidly tanky if it doesn't get like legged or something. So he's really still in the fight, especially with all of his guns here.
Yeah. Acer trying to get an angle on it, but not going to happen. Nyan is still
just got halved by that strike. I think Acer just got halved by that strike.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
only 3 are large.
Acer just got halved. Crusader got a good hit into the left torso. Flea got more damage. This Annihilator's in trouble.
Yeah, it's gonna go down.
He's stripped, or I think he's stripped.
Yeah, 1 ER large. Dario's now laying into Basalt.
Hey, Acer's dead. Basalt's next. He's not long for this world.
And Odinger went for their back cap. They recognized that they needed to do something about the caps, and I'm guessing the idea with this Javelin was to go jump that Battlemaster that was by itself, but it just doesn't matter. It was a little bit too late. I think if he had gone sooner, maybe he could have killed the Battlemaster and made like some space for his team, but
it's much too late and $1 short for that Javelin. He would have been better served helping them not get rolled over by 5J's hurt mechs, but then that is going to be it.
Yeah, I think that the idea of trapping the Corsair and Battlemaster, it seems like it was their idea. I think it could have worked, but Stim got opened up really, really early. I'm not exactly sure from what. And then Imposters, like, they completely stopped worrying about the mechs on CSJ and tried to fight these mechs, like, through these little gaps. But you can't do that if your mechs can't peek up because the CSJ mechs shoot you. So, like, the Annies needed to focus on the mechs on CSJ and you know, put suppressive fire down at the very least, prevent them from peeking, while the Blackjacks dealt with all the stuff that was sitting on stage.
And evidently there was some call made as to why Tavarish's Bushwhacker basically committed suicide, but you don't like to see that from one of your anchor DPS mechs.
Yeah, just a big mistake.
Hurt Imposters quite a lot, I think, losing that Bushwhacker just out in the open there.
Yeah, no doubt.
I also think they messed up. I really think if what they're doing with the Annies is like that was their goal. First off, bring faster mechs. You didn't need Annies to do that. strongly disagree with that line of thought. Like, and we see that 5J just punished it because they saw the Annies come from a million miles. Hey, it's Annies. Yeah, just keep playing the game. You don't have to do anything because they move 1 mile an hour, and it doesn't
I
matter.
don't actually think the speed would have made a difference because like they got over to that corner and then they couldn't move up further.
But what would have made a difference was going further back to not get scouted. 5J had no scouting. Instead, they ran where Sleepy Humans Battlemaster could see them. If they hadn't done that and ran behind where the rest of Imposters mechs went, I think they could have maybe got away with it even.
That is
maybe got away
potentially
with
true,
it.
yeah.
Look at the damages we see. Weapon Master in that Crusader. That's one of the ideal situations for a Crusader. 650 damage is what you expect. Well done from him. We see Sleepy Human 451, Monkey Astro 522, 535 from Jiffy, and very importantly, 439 from Cougar's Flea. So much damage coming out of 5J. And we see from EQ, the Bushwhacker 154. You don't like to see it. The Blackjacks really didn't get a whole lot in. Acer sub 200. Really only Basalt got any damage out. That's very unfortunate.
Which is weird to me because the Annies were together like the entire time. So
yes,
I feel like again, like they should have just peed together and focused the mechs on CHJ, suppressed them down, and then trusted their team to deal with the other stuff. But it just didn't happen.
Yes.
All right. Interesting drop though. I definitely like both those drops are quite interesting.
That's a fun drop. That's not, if I wanted to run that strategy, what Imposters did, I honestly think their mech choices were very poor. I really do. They had very little way to get scouting either, so the Blackjacks had to poke their heads up into ear larges. Very fragile, squishy mech. You don't want to be taking damage early on those mechs, and they had to get scouting. It's not good.
I really think that the Blackjacks blade into the ear large was because the Annies weren't like shooting them though. Like the Annies were looking at stage, and the Blackjacks and like Bushwhacker were looking at CSJ. Like that's the opposite of what you want, right?
The crazy part too is that even if the Annies had played everything right, I don't think it would have been in the cards. Like I think they have a Crusader sitting stage facing back that's optimal for the Crusader. They have an ear large concave, literally from 5J's mechs. I don't think two Annies beats that. And so at that point, you're expecting miracles out of two Blackjacks and a Bushwhacker. Good luck with that, in my opinion.
I think that the Javelin was also ER mediums, was it not? I feel like they could have.
It was an 11. Was it an 11F or an 11A? I think it was an 11F. So I think it was LMG.
It was 11A.
11A. Oh, that's even more questionable. I don't understand that at all. They wanted to like skirmish them out or something. I don't understand that.
I think that like if the Blackjacks and stuff had gone back and played around Theta, and like they said spread out and not let themselves get like trapped in that area, then it would have been potentially okay.
It feels like Imposters expected something else to happen with that drop deck, but the reality is if 5J just sits with traders behind spires, what are you going to do with X-Pulse and medium skirmishing? Nothing. You're going to die. And that's exactly to the T textbook what happened.
Yeah.
They weren't able to do anything with 5J's big forces and the Crusader just sitting behind pillars and corners, and they died.
Facts. For Bog, what do these teams no longer have?
Bog is interesting. So 5J is out of their Corsairs and Battlemasters. But they notably have their Stalkers. And as far as I'm concerned, and
they have their Annies as well, by the way.
Yes, they do have their Annies. And then Imposters is down 2 Annies, but like they have a lot of other stuff left. So as far as I'm concerned, if we're just looking at mechs, Imposters could be an extremely mixed bag here with mechs. There's a lot of good Bog mechs that are still up.
Yeah, I think that like both teams actually have a lot of good options. Neither teams used their chargers either. There was one number 7 used actually by in the first round. Do you expect either of these teams to hard push, or do you think they'll both like try to control?
I like to think it's gonna be a push and a control, at least for one of these drops here. I like to think it's gonna be a push and a control. I think it's too easy to play control on Viridian, but on the same token, it's also easy to push. Viridian is a map of extremes that comes down to scouting, in my honest opinion. It's not a map of constants. It's a map of anybody can be a lot of different places, doing a lot of different things, and you need to see what's going on first.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. Scouting's super, super important on this map.
So interestingly, we do see 5J locked first. We see Jiffy and Sleepy Human, two of their big players in Alpha. We see Bravo, Weapon Master, another big, like kind of like heavy-ish player for 5J. And then we see Cougar, Dario, and Monk all in Charlotte. So if I'm Imposters, I'm looking at this and thinking, well, these guys generally pretty clear to find roles, and they're in these spawns. So, you know, let me just pull up the map here, actually.
Alright, both teams are locked. I'm sending it though. I'm sure
Right.
you'll have time. They take.
Never.
There's that one piece potato PC that takes a long time to load in.
I wouldn't. We can actually look at the mechs now as they're loading in. If you scroll all the way the camera like out of bounds to look at the dropships, you can actually see the mechs. So.
Okay, I'll go ahead and do that then. Can't wait. Anticipation kills me. Oh wait, I don't even have to. There's no dropships on block.
Oh yeah, there's no dropships. Hey, perfect. There you go. So from Imposters, we have a Dervish 8D. We have three Stalkers, Charger number 7, and a Spider.
Okay, from 5J, we have 3 Stalkers, a 4L, and 2 Firestarters with light peep small lasers. So it's like the Stalkers are binaries, ER mediums on 5J. So it's like a mid-range. It's basically a control strat with the 4L sitting up high.
They're mid-range Stalkers on Imposters as well. Binaries, mediums.
I'm seeing large X pulse.
Oh, really?
Large X pulse ER mediums on the Stalkers, and the number 7 with large X pulse, medium X pulse, and then a Dervish AD with SRM small lasers. So it's definitely a full send from Imposters. So yeah, it is what you asked for. Yes, control versus push.
Absolutely.
I think that this actually, I think Imposters has the better deck, honestly.
Yes, I agree. They do.
If they just send it with no fear and they go legs, I think they should just be able to mop everything up pretty easily.
X plus ER mediums. Yeah, very interesting on the Stalkers. You are right.
I actually like it a lot. Because the large X pulse give you the sustain. So like when you get hot, you just use those, or probably when you're like 50%. But the ER mediums, they sync the range really nice, and it gives you a little bit extra burst if you're like trying to shoot a light that's like pop turning or something.
So my camera is stuck in the cockpits. We're missing a little bit of that this match, but I'll get good cockpit views of what's going on.
All right, I'll keep you posted on the big thing. So Stim going up to the middle in the scouting. 5J on the other hand taking Theta with both their lights. Actually opting to not scout at all, by the way, on 5J. They literally just rush for the cap. So they have no idea what's
that's going on. Not smart. Interestingly, we see Imposters, Stalkers not YOLO pushing. They're pushed up to like E7, D7 up high, and they're just chilling there.
Yeah, so they haven't scouted what their opponents are yet, so they're playing it slow because I'm guessing they don't want to like run into SRM catapults, right?
Right. That actually makes a lot of sense. As I said before, Viridian is not a map of constants. Viridian is a map where a lot of people can do a lot of different things at a lot of different times, and you need scouting for it.
Okay, so Acer just got blapped by the 4L, so now they know. So I'm assuming they're going to put the gas on.
They should know.
And they immediately start moving up. So that they were just sitting back there until Stim scouted for them. But now they're going to push. I think that's fine as well with the Stalkers. I don't think, like, with large X plus ER medium, they have enough range, so it's not a huge deal that they were...
Looking through Monk Yasuo's cockpit, he does not see a lot of where the Stalkers are pushing. However, they just got a sensor turn. Bravo sensor turn, pushing up E5. I think that's a Stalker with Charger. 5J needs to realize at this point that the push is on.
Simrog might get ganked. He just got blapped in the back. He's getting shot right now. He needs to be very careful. If he dies, the drop's basically over. Okay, he is going to get out. I think he's okay. His arm's open, but 80%. Right now, though, both the Firestars and a Stalker over on this side of the map. I think if Imposters puts the pedal to the metal and just goes, that they're going to be in a great position because the Spider can come back. I
honestly think 5JD's Light should have gone in that Spider. 5JD's Light should have committed to that Spider.
Yeah. All right, well, here it comes.
Is on.
Yep, they're going legs.
They're going legs, but one of the Stalkers here, Basalt, is tanking really hard. They did get Sleepy Human really fast, but Basalt is like halved. Owinger almost dies in the back.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, he does. Just ignoring Jiffy. Why?
They walked into a crossfire. Basalt's one shot. So at this point, it's just Acerg. Acerg did get out of the crossfire.
Okay, but Sim and Torish are on Monk in the back, so that's pretty relevant. Torish having trouble getting up, though. He hasn't managed to get up yet on Monk. He needs to.
Acer does kill Jiffy. Now the lights are on Acer. Acer is still pretty fresh, but the charger for Imposters is not very fresh.
One shot in the back.
And
One shot.
5J's lights are pretty good. Weapon Master completely fresh.
This is anyone's game still.
Yeah, one shot. I mean,
Neon's one shot in the back. One shot in the back. So
yeah.
And Stem, I think, is almost legged. He's smoking? Oh, no, it's his arms.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're going to clean up Weapon Master.
They might get... Yeah, they do get Weapon Master. Completely fresh. Down from nothing. And they're going to get Cougar.
Yeah, okay.
Open. Oh, that was so good. That was fucking amazing. They caught Cougar straight up in the open, and they're going to kill him almost for free there. There's going to get a strike down. There's going to get some damage going on, but it doesn't matter. Boom, there it goes. Tavarish and the Dervish still pretty fresh, though his leg is open.
Acer's fresh, so they've got this drop unless they throw.
Yeah.
I think that, like, man, it looked great until Oat got backshot, and I think he just, like, forgot Jiffy was there or something, because you can't turn your back to a laser bomb stalker. Like, you just have to... Oh, okay, Neon does go down. You have to, like, slow down and keep your back to the wall like Basalt was doing. If you're getting backshot, you can't just pretend it's not there. It's definitely going to shoot your back, right?
Right.
Okay, I think Stim honestly wins this fight pretty hard, considering the Firestarter's leg is open. Both legs are open now.
I think one of the things with the backshots is, like, either Stim needed to be on that Marauder, making it worry about something else, or the Stalkers need to come around the other side.
Okay, Stim goes down, but he gets the legs, so it's going to be a while for them to cap. But
that's going to be it.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, push one out there.
Awesome.
2-2 right now.
Yeah, awesome push from Imposters. I think 5J with better positioning, better reactions could have beat it. Like, I think those lights need to jump on that Simrog Spider.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely think that he was caught off guard completely too. If they had jumped and killed him there, then they would have won the drop for sure.
And I also think they need to be more proactive in their scouting.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The reason why they didn't push him is because they had no idea where they were good, because they sent 2 lights to Cap Theta instead of just 1. Like, if you have 2 fire starters, why is one of them not scouting? Why would you send both to a cap?
And not just that. Afterwards, they didn't really scout their side of the map. The first sensor blip that I saw on 5J's side came up when they were already pushed up the middle. It's too late.
I will say, though, it was a really good play to get Oat's rear. I think Oat made a mistake, but good crossfire, and Jiffy obviously waiting for the opportunity and taking it when it presented itself. So this almost salvaged the drop.
Come down to drop 5.
Yeah, Jiffy also cooking himself really hard, knowing he was going to go down the legs.
Yep.
Love to see it. But yeah, no, drop 5. 2-2 match. Like, honestly, really, really interesting match. Considering the map, like the maps, like I think even though the anti-push didn't work, it was interesting, and I think I really liked this drop as well.
Can't really comment on the damages. All pretty midline for damage, about what you would expect. The focus fire on Imposters was very good, drilling those legs out, getting, more importantly too, drilling the legs isn't good enough if you're kind of 200-300 meters away from the guys, but you also need to get the other leg when he's shielding it. So you need to position mechs to do both. And that's something we've seen teams make mistakes with this tournament. Oh, we're going to go legs. These guys are in the open. Surely they're free kills. Nope, just turn the leg. And you never get the other leg, and that's it. But that did not happen this time.
My question is, I think, wasn't Weapon Master the Stalker that was further away?
Yes.
So I'm surprised he only had 100 and something damage. I would think the Stalker that's furthest back with the laser bomb would be the one that gets the most damage. Did he get caught in the open and just double-legged?
Yes, that's exactly what happened. I don't know where the damage happened early in the game. I feel like maybe he wasn't in position to do damage because, again, 5J didn't scout it.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. Like,
they didn't scout it till the guys were in their face.
If you knew what they were, then like surely you don't stand in the open and get caught. And then if you're further away, you can go like up to the high ground, and
your other stalkers can pull more back and pull into more of a concave.
Yeah, yeah. So I expect 5J will realize what happened and step up their scouting for this next one. Now the question is, will Imposters actually push again, or do you think they'll mix it up and go trade? They use their stalkers on that drop. I think the stalker drop is always going to be a little bit different.
And they're down 2 out of 3 chargers.
Yeah, so I kind of would expect them to just trade, but
if I would too. But if I'm 5J, I'm really considering. They haven't used any of the big brawl mechs. They could easily do a big, full, heavy brawl rush.
Yeah, so what are you thinking?
I'm really thinking about, if I'm 5J, that's what I'm thinking right now.
Like Victors or like
what? Victors, Catapults, Crusaders. They still have 2 Crusaders left. I can see a Crusader being great on Viridian.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so many mechs you could bring other than just those two. Marauder 2s, like I don't know. You have a lot, and importantly, a lot of brawl options is what you have left on imposter side. So
Yeah, I think both teams really do because has 5J used a charger yet? I don't think they have. Right?
say again?
I don't think 5J has used any chargers. I don't think
No,
they've
they
used
have
like
not.
any of their brawling mechs throughout this entire thing.
They
So
have not, right?
I don't know. I honestly feel like 5J is more likely to push, but yeah, both teams could push or neither could push. It's still up in the air.
I
Bog, like
I,
you
I
said, is a
honestly
map.
think 5J is going to push. EQ is going to trade, but big but there. It's so easy for 5J to be like, okay, we're gonna bring counter this, we're gonna bring counter that because hey, 5J or hey, Imposters has a whole lot of brawl left.
Yeah, yeah. That's true. I mean, like, if you were imposters and you like wanted to trade, what mechs would you bring that they haven't brought? Because you can't bring any
Well,
Annies, you can't bring any Stalkers, you can't bring any and you can bring one
they
Charger.
won Annie. They've won Annie, right? Pretty sure they've won.
Yes, they do have one Annie. Yeah, I
One
guess
Annie,
Marauders.
one Marauder 2, Marauder 2, Goss PPC, great choice. They haven't brought 3 Battle Masters, right? Pretty sure they're down a Battle Masters. They could bring a Battle Master. They haven't brought their Corsairs. Corsairs amazing on Viridian Bog.
Yeah, okay, so they have options.
They have options. They do have options.
I think like the Phoenix Hawk to me is what sticks out as being probably the best mech for control on Bog because there's so many places you can pop try to move around and they don't have any.
Out of their Phoenix Hawks, right?
On the other hand, doesn't 5J has 5J used a single Phoenix Hawk? I don't think they have.
They have not. No.
So honestly, just off of that being such a strong mech in my opinion, like one of the strongest for IS, I would have to say I think 5J is going to bring like 2 Phoenix Hawks and play this control because like how can you not use that mech at all in any of your drop decks?
Right. I concur with that.
Yeah. And so that'll be tough for if it's like control versus control. That'll be tough for imposters to deal with. Like pop starting Phoenix Hawks. Like how can you match that if you don't have any Phoenix Hawks of your own on a map like Bog? It'll be tough. I forgot to say but hopefully they lock earlier than that. But yeah, I love the matches that go 2-2 into the final one.
We've seen a lot of that this tournament, haven't we?
It's been an insanely close tournament. If DSC had lost to KDCM, then there would have been like 4 teams competing for first place.
It's almost unfortunate that the structure of the tournament is such that it really anything outside of like those 3 wins doesn't really matter, right? Except for tie breaking. So it's kind of unfortunate because it's the closest set of matches in quite a significant time, I think, that we've seen.
Yeah. Yeah, it will be interesting to see if any other team surpasses DSC in points. I think right now, well, I know right now because they're the only team that's played yet. We'll see after this. Right now they lead in points, but I think that it might be possible for Vile to like match or surpass them if they 5-0 2-2 later. Not 100% sure on that. We would have to look. And by points I mean like actual drop wins, because I'm assuming that's the other measurement that you're saying like maybe it would be a better better thing to go off of. Okay, they're locked. We're sending it in the final drop.
Let's do it. Very wide split, I guess, relatively speaking. Alpha Charlie, though, I'm pretty sure all 3 lances spawn close on Viridians. It's kind of hands on the air on that one.
Yeah, well, we'll see in a second because there's no dropships, so we get our time to look at all the mechs and builds. Oh, I'm on the imposter side, and I immediately see 2 Atlas RSs. So I think you called like big brawl. I'm assuming that's big brawl. I see a Health Spa 9F, Force from 6 small lasers, a Dervish with small lasers and SRMs. Their last Charger, number 7 with again large X pulse, medium X pulse, and a Blackjack 1X with 1 binary and 7 AR mediums.
I'm looking at 5J. They have Annihilator 1P, Marauder 4A, Firestarter 2 Phoenix Hawks, and a Marauder 4A. Very notably, 4A Marauders.
Yes, so those are the Phoenix Hawks we talked about. I'm not surprised by this at all. It makes sense that the reason the Phoenix Hawks in the last drop. I think that man, I think this could go either way. This is really going to come down to execution. I like 5J's drop better than the previous one.
I agree.
But I think that like it's really going to be, in my opinion, on this Annihilator to kind of carry this drop against those Atlases, because the Marauders, if they go up onto the high ground and they're in range of the Atlases, they're going to get torn to shreds. Like,
what are the builds on these Marauders?
Very 3 binaries, 5 ER mediums.
Oh, okay, so very mid range, and then the Annihilator is like 2 ER PPC, 2 light Goss, and ER large. So they're actually very weak against a push, I would say. 5J's deck.
I think it'll come down to angles. I think.
Yes, agreed.
If the Atlases, they can just DPS them down, then yeah, they're gonna have a bad time.
Very questionable pathing from Imposters Atlases right now. You see they're going high ground.
They're doing the same thing as last game, where they're waiting to scout because they don't want to run to SRM catapults.
No, well...
the only thing that makes sense, right? Because they're literally sitting up high and waiting.
They should be hiding, though, I think. I don't know. I think if I'm 5J and for whatever reason I'm scouting those side of the map and I see Atlases, I know what's happening and I know what's coming.
That's a very, very good point. I want to point out, though, that Imposters does not have a good way to scout themselves. They don't actually have a true light mech. The Hellspawn's their best bet.
That is true.
So it might just be like, okay, we can't properly scout, so we have to just set up in case they're pushing so we don't auto-lose. But I think they just did get shot by binaries. So, okay, they may update. So their Hellspawn got shot by some binary Marauder, and they immediately pull the trigger and say, okay, they're not pushing us, we can go. So that's most likely what happened. You might think it's a bad play. I think it's... because they don't have a scout, it's fine. But maybe they should just have a scout in their drop deck. I don't know.
Well,
but,
yeah.
But it is going to give 5J a lot of time. I'm assuming 5J scouted those Atlases, right? So they're going to have all the time in the world to set up.
They've taken damage, so it looks like they have. And they have a really good crossfire. You have Jiffy on the... basically from their side, Jiffy's in the left. Monk Yasto in the middle, Superhuman on the right. A great crossfire. We saw very similar in Tourmaline when EQ tried to push them with various smatterings of lasers.
I just want to point out, it's a great crossfire, but like Imposters has those two, Hellspawn and Dervish on the top side of the map right now. Oh wait, no, Sim and Nyan making a big mistake. They're pushing alone.
That's a mistake. And then Basalt and Acer are just standing there trading. They did get Monk Yasto really damaged, though. Monk Yasto did get hurt very bad. The range on those...
Okay, but here comes Torish and Odinger are making a play on Sleepy. This is going to decide the game. How this is handled.
Tremendous. They need to be legging him. They were shooting his rear.
Yeah, they need to go, though. They're too scared. They need to just go. Odinger... They need to just... Go. Yeah, they need to go. They're too scared. Your teammates need you. Okay, I think they were not on the same page. They're making the play now, though.
And, like, there's a mech from Imposters, Stimrog, just running away. Like, what's going on here?
Yeah, they're not connected at all.
Good as dead. They're going to get Sleepy Human, but it's going to... Okay, he does get Sleepy Human at least, but he is dead for sure.
Yeah, Torish is dead.
Odinger needs to run. Odinger needs to run. Don't go back in. Your leg is open. Don't go back in. He's going back in.
Okay, on the other side, they're getting Jiffy with the Atlases. Stimrog is shooting from the high ground.
That's good. Jiffy does go down, but the Atlases are hurt. The Charger's hurt. Stim's not even barely in this fight.
Man, I can't even keep track of everything that's happening. I'm sorry.
I can't keep track of anything. I have Monk Yasto, but the lights. It's going to come down to 5J lights. Actually, no, I think EQ has this. Actually.
No, it's really close. Imposters.
Weapons down. No,
yeah, I think they're going to get Nyan, though. Odinger's legged, so Monk is still in this fight.
That's okay, though, because both Atlases are still fresh.
Yeah, Nyan goes down. Too. I mean, Basalt's open CT. I think he sees the Annihilator. He's going to focus that?
He does. He is focusing the Annihilator.
Oh, he's getting weird, though. Basalt's going to go down.
He's in a crossfire, and the Annie's going to peek, He's moving forward to peek. Exo from the Annie, shooting in the back, and he gets him in the rear.
This is on Stim now. If the fire starters... Oh, no. Stim gets Dario in the back shot. That's game. That's the play. Because Monk goes down to Odinger on the other side, so Imposters has it.
God.
I think if Stim didn't get that box shot and Cougar and Dario focused Stim and took him out, then they could have 2v1 the Atlas afterwards, because Odinger's completely out of the fight.
They need to kill that Blackjack. He was all the way off to the side, and the Blackjack's so easy. Cougar's down, and that is it. Oh,
what a final drop. That was awesome. Like,
that was
too many actions.
The tournament.
Too many. That was great. There's so much action all spread out throughout the map. You never see that. It's almost always like 2 death balls at max, like 2 3v3s. We literally had 3 2v2s. Almost, I feel.
Shooting Dario in the back, clutching the game for his team, basically. I'm speechless.
That was crazy awesome. Like, what a great final drop. 3-2 in Imposters' favor. Obviously,
well done, Imposters. Congratulations on the win.
Well
done, 5J, for a great series of games.
Yeah, man, the tensions were really high. The Odinger and Torish a little bit slow on making the call to get Sleepy Human, but eventually they made the right decision to go for his legs and go in and make sure they got that kill.
It
But
was so
it could have been,
scuffed.
yeah, it could have been a lot cleaner.
No,
I will say,
that like
well, it was a mistake for sure. It actually ended up dragging the Phoenix Hawks over, and so in the meantime, their team on the other side took advantage of.
right. And
Yeah.
Jiffy's Marauder, I think Jiffy's Marauder needed to move or something, just play his life, play for time, because at that point they needed to play time to give them time to kill the Dervish and possibly the Hellspawn.
I just want to point out 648 damage on Cougar's Firestarter.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like 5J's lights were getting a lot of damage in because 5J's bigs just got
648. That must be like a big strike on the Alice or something, but even so, I think that like, man, I'm trying to think like, how did the Annie get so beat up at the beginning? I'm not gonna lie, I kind of missed that because I feel like
the Atlas is man moded.
But shouldn't the Annihilator just like use the timeouts, peek once, then just decide, hey, I'm not going to peek into two Atlases staring at me?
You would think, yeah, you would think. I didn't quite see the macros of that trade engagement, but
yeah,
you would think,
because you can't do that. I mean, like those large X Pulse Atlases with the course they have, they're in optimal. Like you can't.
Yeah, no,
you cannot stare at them.
Range. You have a range quirk. You have a big TC. You're hitting optimal 700 plus on those Atlases. You can't do that.
Yeah. Well, thanks.
And then Jiffy's Marauder wasn't poking into them at all, getting damage, and it seemed like Sleepy Human was out of range more or less with his binary large Marauder. Not really able to help either.
Yeah, very, very like I think you used the word scuffed. Very scuffed drop from like both sides, but like very chaotic. Some really good plays being made on both sides, and some questionable ones. I love the drops in Div A like that. Really goes to show like individual palette, like that. Those are the drops that individual palette skill and decision making like. Those make the difference, right? Rather than just the strat. And that was definitely what we saw there. Like,
right.
Both teams could have won that with different decision making.
I think Stim's decision to flank really wide while the rest of his team was pushing and then come in later was a very dangerous decision, but it somehow ended up working for him.
Yeah, I think that like Neon Stim's initial push around the side was a big mistake, but they immediately recognized it was a mistake and backed off and waited. So
and they didn't lose too much. They didn't lose a crazy amount from that.
And again, like Torish and Odinger's the Hellspawn and the Dervish, like they messed it up, but they did the right thing by jumping Sleepy in the first place, right? Like they had good timing.
Fantastic. That was fantastic. That was super well done from Imposters. 100%. That was amazing. The problem comes as on stream right now. Oh, it's dropping down. And then Tavares is like on the other side. And coordinate that drop.
They were like, almost felt like they wanted to back up because they knew like support was coming, but you got to get that kill first, right? You have to trust your team.
If you're committing to it, I mean, you can make the fold. You could make the fold in that situation. You could get the damage, push him off. He stays down for a while because it's a big Marauder, and you fold away with the Dervish and the Hellspawn, giving the rest of your team time to come in.
Yeah, but you got to do it together, and I think that's what you're pointing out.
And it's like, it kind of is like one person wanted to do one thing, one person wanted to do the other thing.
Yeah. But anyways, they managed to do it. Close match, really interesting match. Awesome. Thanks for joining me for the cast, Bowser. It was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me.
And thanks for both teams for playing. So thanks everybody for watching. Have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.